On the Pacific coast of North America, ships did not simply disappear. They sent messages. They left records. When the SS Valencia failed to arrive, it was not immediately treated as a mystery. That came later. The SS Valencia was not an experiment. She was built in 1882, steel-hulled, modern for her time. She carried passengers, mail, and confidence. By 1906, she had already crossed this coast dozens of times. There was no reason to believe this voyage would be different. There were 181 people aboard, not as a number, as lives, among them newly married couples. Laborers heading north for work, children traveling with parents who believed the hardest parts of life were behind them, and a crew trained to believe that experience was protection. The Valencia left San Francisco on January 20th, 1906, bound for Seattle. The weather reports were not ideal, but they were not considered dangerous. North of California, winter does not announce itself loudly. It accumulates. Wind, current, poor visibility. None of these were unusual. On January 22nd, the Valencia sent word: heavy seas, poor visibility. Nothing that suggested disaster. It would be the last routine message the Valencia ever sent. Navigation along this coast depended on estimation, dead reckoning, speed, direction, time. Errors were expected. They were usually survivable. The Pacific Northwest coastline is not forgiving. Reefs extend far beyond what charts could show. Currents bend ships sideways without warning. In clear weather, captains compensated. In fog, they guessed. Shortly after midnight, the Valencia struck. Not with an explosion, but with resistance. Steel met stone. The engines stopped. At first, passengers were told nothing. The crew believed the ship could be freed. This was not unreasonable. Ships grounded before, most came off. Below the waterline, damage spread quietly. Compartments filled unevenly. The ship began to list. At that point, the decision changed. The Valencia carried lifeboats. They met regulation. They were not designed for this coastline. Several were destroyed before clearing the ship. Those inside were not recovered. Not everyone remained on the ship. A small number were carried by the sea, not towards safety, but away from the wreck. This distinction mattered. Cape Beale was uninhabited. No roads, no telegraph, no immediate way to signal for help. They were alive, but not safe. Help came by accident. Local fishermen saw figures on the rocks. They did not know a ship had wrecked. They turned toward shore anyway. That decision saved lives. In total, 37 people survived. Most were crew. A few were passengers. Many lost family members. They would carry that distinction for the rest of their lives. At least 134 people did not survive. Most were never recovered. There were no bodies for burial, only absence. News of the wreck traveled faster than rescue ever had. Early reports were optimistic. They were wrong. Families learned the truth days later. The investigation concluded quickly. Some details cannot be proven.